Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie Neff.
Where have you been, Charlie Neff?
You know, I had a couple days off, just a staycation. It's been so nice.
And you had like a sick day last week as well?
Yes, I did.
You've been out a lot.
You know what? I'm loving it. I had a very peaceful weekend. Usually I go somewhere, but this time I just stayed home.
You've had a bit of drama in your personal life.
Yes, with our neighbor who's now gone, and it was a very peaceful weekend.
Oh, well, good.
By the way, I saw yesterday's episode. What an intro for Devin Rawl.
I do the Newsbreaker Love Maker every time for Devin.
Okay, what's mine? Well, I'm waiting for my intro today.
Charlie Neff.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Maybe I'll think of a little thing for you. I just like the way that Newsbreaker, because of his job, and Love Maker because he's a bit of a womanizer man.
Is he? He's married with a kid.
Back in the day, he run through him.
Well, so did you.
True.
Whoa.
Okay.
By the way, speaking of Love Maker and Shaker.
What?
My second year anniversary was with Johnny over the weekend.
Marriage anniversary. Congratulations.
Yes, 2 years. Can you believe that?
2
And I'm
years.
like not even wearing my ring. But
I know, but you guys are a partnership, I feel.
Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think good.
Companionship?
Are you guys like deeply in love or just a partnership?
I mean, we've known each other since high school.
All right, let's move on to the stories. We're going to talk about ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
Insane.
We're going to talk about Blake Lively because she says she has witnesses who are going to help support her case.
Yes.
And we're also going to talk about Kevin Spacey's back in the news for something he prefers not to be in the news for. Another actor, Guy Pearce, accused him of kind of sexual stuff years back, and Kevin says, leave me out of it.
Right. By the way, we are live. So if you have any comments about any of the stories, about us, questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Our amazing producer, Branson, is combing through your guys' comments, and we'll get to those at the end of the episode.
ASAP Rocky was found not guilty in his criminal trial, and boy, was he excited about it.
Wow.
I don't think I've seen like a verdict read out and then the defendant
goes like berserk.
He leapt into the audience. I didn't think that
Yeah.
you're allowed to do. I think you have to hold like some decorum in the courtroom.
Yes, totally. And like you even see like security and stuff. Like they're trying to like calm him down because they're still reading off other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's still going on. But wow, he was very
Relieved.
I think is the word. And you know, some people actually the prosecutors were kind of trying to say like, you know, him bringing his kids and Rihanna there was like a play.
But that's a play for anyone.
Was upset about that. But then, yeah, I mean, we actually got a juror out who had mentioned like, oh, the reason we felt like maybe there was something there, but that ASAP Relly's case was like so, I don't know, not stable that there was nothing they could really do.
Yeah, that was really interesting that a juror spoke afterwards and basically said that we do think a crime was committed, but we just don't really like ASAP Rally either. And we think that, you know, going by the law and the instructions we were given by the judge, we don't think that the crime met the criteria of like finding him guilty.
Yeah, beyond a reasonable doubt.
But they said that we did think the crime was committed. They said that
something happened.
They said that Rihanna had no impact on their decision making.
Yep.
Which I
believe.
I don't know if I necessarily believe. I believe that the juror thinks that, but I think maybe subconsciously, if you think a crime has been committed, yet you're not willing to convict, there's some like muddiness that, you know, stops you from doing that. Maybe Rihanna and the kids, you know,
had an effect. I mean, you don't want to like break up the family. She's coming with the 2 kids. You're thinking like, oh wow, he wants to go home to be with his children.
Yes.
You know, so you're might be thinking that in the back of your head, but. Yeah, look, he was facing 25 years, up to 25 years. That would have been a very, very long time.
Oh, my God.
Now he's free. And they went out to a restaurant last night and celebrated.
I know. We got him going out in Beverly Hills, him and Riri. He said to us how amazing he feels. He's like 1,000-watt smile.
Do you know what restaurant it was?
Yes, but I can't think of it right now. Somewhere in Beverly Hills that I hadn't heard of before.
Oh, okay.
Some new restaurant, I think. But yeah, ASAP said to the jurors as they left the courtroom, "Thank you for saving my life." He talked to reporters afterwards, just like so thankful. That they were saying that Relly's the real criminal now, not ASAP. And then Riri, she went on Instagram and she posted, "The glory belongs to God and God alone. Thankful, humbled by his mercy."
Do you think maybe this is like a second chance for them to, or for him, I guess, to clean up like his ways?
Because he did.
Because they did say, like, we believe something happened, right?
They did say that something happened.
Yeah.
They
So,
saw
like,
video of
maybe now he's like, okay, I have a second chance to, like, not do something like this again.
I hope
not
so,
be a
but
part of something like this.
Wasn't he caught up in something in Sweden too?
Yeah, that was crazy.
When Trump tried to get him back at that
Right.
time. So if I was Riri, I would be laying down the law to this guy. Like, I'd be giving him a curfew. You know what I mean? Like, wives have to do this to husbands sometimes to rein them in.
Oh, is that what happened to you?
I mean, I need some reining in at certain times.
Did Aaron come in and lay down the hammer?
Less weed. Yes.
Good for Aaron. And
Yeah.
you know what women do? Our effect is we just make you a better person. We see the potential and we just push you in the right direction.
Well, we as men appreciate all of your guidance.
Oh, good. Aaron, I hope you're watching this or listening.
Wives are the boss. Like, aren't they?
Oh, I thought you were going to say wives are the bomb.
Wives are the bomb. They're
Yep.
the boss. Like, every tribe needs a chief, and usually it's
I love
the chief of our
that.
tribe is my wife. Are you the chief of your two-man tribe? Two women?
Yes. Johnny would probably say otherwise. But yeah.
Okay, on to our next story. Blake Lively has amended her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And this is kind of like, this is like the worm turning. You know, when you watch a political debate, how they have like the worm going up and down. What candidate do the people in the audience support?
Right.
This is like the worm is turning in Blake's favor with this because she says she's got witnesses.
Yep.
And if witnesses take the stand, which Blake says they're willing to do,
To testify, correct.
to testify against Baldoni that it wasn't only Blake experiencing this sort of harassment / she says the other employees felt uncomfortable, that they had complained, and Justin Baldoni had acknowledged the complaints, that he knew that there are other women who felt a certain sort of way about him on set. And so when Blake stuff came out, he said that she invented it, that it was out of the blue. But if what Blake is telling is the truth, and there's evidence, and then there's witnesses to back it up, that there had been prior emails saying, Justin, fall back, bro, like you're doing the most. If there's other people who kind of support what Blake was saying, that does complicate things for Justin a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, kind of in his defense, I think people like in his corner and people that support him kind of say like, well, yeah, of course the cast is going to take Blake Lively's side. She's the big star. And they're thinking like, wow, maybe I can get roles in the future. But, she did originally say in her original lawsuit, she had mentioned some of the HR complaints by other people. So I remember had jotted these down. So on page 21, I even have the page.
Oh, you read the whole suit, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So she had, this is her original lawsuit. She had talked about inappropriate comments between Isabella and Justin, but didn't mention that Isabella filed an HR complaint. So this was the actress that played the younger version of Blake. Basically, Blake had said that there was some like sex scene between Isabella, the younger version of her, and like the younger guy. And that they did this like sex scene or whatever. And Justin apparently had said something like, wow, that was hot. And he's like, you guys practiced that, huh? Or something. Like,
and that's the inappropriate.
That was like the alleged inappropriate comment. And then on page 23, it talks about how Justin told a female cast member her leather pants looked, quote, sexy when she arrived on set. And it said, for example, on one occasion that Miss Lively observed, he told a female cast member that her leather pants looked sexy when she arrived to set. When she rebuffed his comment because she was uncomfortable, rather than apologizing, he brushed it off with, quote, I can say that because my wife is here today. And then later it goes on, as a result of his behavior, another cast member lodged a sexual harassment complaint about Mr. Baldoni's gross and unwanted comments towards her and others.
Interesting. Good details, Neff.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it goes on to talk about like alleged HR complaints that apparently it claims in the lawsuit that Wayfair, the production company that Justin owns, was aware of, as well as Sony. It claimed that Sony was aware of these other HR complaints that were filed not by Blake.
Wow. That is super interesting. And I feel like, both of these guys probably, Blake and Justin, probably there's a bit of truth, bit of, fibs, both of them,
I mean, I think, I think there is a big difference, though, between, like, dicey comments and sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, are there blurred lines? What do we consider sexual harassment, and what do we consider just, like, kind
creepy,
of flirty/creepy comments? When there was that whole voice note that came out that Justin had sent Blake, people thought, wow, how creepy, his tone and his voice. He's like talking so low to her at 2 a.m. or whatever. But then, there was other times, like I listened to a podcast that he was on not that long ago. He had the same voice. So it wasn't like that was a special creepy voice just for her. That's just like the way he talks.
He's one of those sort of guys who kind of just talks like that and is a bit too open with his observations. And
which is not sexual harassment.
Right. Well,
I mean, look, we'll be following this, but yeah, it's still getting nasty.
Kevin Spacey is telling Guy Pearce to grow up after Guy Pearce alleged that Kevin was handsy and targeted him on the set of their old show, LA Confidential. Pearce said, I was sort of scared of Kevin because he's quite an aggressive man. He's extremely charming and brilliant at what he does. Really impressive. He holds a room remarkably, but I was young and susceptible and he targeted me, no question. Well, Kevin's now come out and he's saying, grow up. Let's have a listen to what Kevin has to say.
Guy Pearce, I've now read the comments that you made about me, and while I would have preferred not to have to play this out in the media, we worked together a long time ago. If I did something then that upset you, you could have reached out to me. We could have had that conversation. But instead, you've decided to speak to the press, who are now, of course, coming after me because they would like to know what my response is. You really want to know what my response is? Grow up. Did you also, by the way, tell the press that a year after we shot LA Confidential, you flew to Savannah, Georgia, while I was shooting Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, just to spend time with me? I mean, did you tell the press that too?
Yeah, I mean, who knows what happened ages ago. It is weird, Guy, bringing it all up now after everything, like the stuff against Kevin's over. Like, why didn't you bring it up when everything was coming out? But,
totally.
I mean, if it's his truth, then he is allowed to speak it. Should we read out some of the comments now?
Yep, totally. Okay, so for the ASAP Rocky story, How Wow Gucci said, this just shows in America, if you have money, you can buy your way out of anything.
Yeah, maybe.
It happened with O.J. Simpson.
True. I mean,
the dream team.
If ASAP hadn't been famous, would it have gone this way? Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
True. Justin said, ASAP Rocky never returns to music. He can definitely go for a linebacker the way he tackled Rihanna in that courtroom.
Actually, he's just teased that he's coming out with a new album this morning.
Yeah, he did. I wonder if it's going to be influenced at all by the trial.
Case. I'm sure there'll be something in there.
Yeah. VZ said, that's crazy. It was on camera and not guilty. Crazy.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep. For the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni story, Raw75 Row said, Blake needs to fire her team. Oof. Kay Hudson said, Isabella said it was the most safe movie set.
Oh, she said that, did she? So she said it was safe and also complained?
Well, according to Blake. This is Blake's recount of what happened. Steph said, Blake and Ryan are laughing about the whole situation on SNL. No one is going to take them seriously anymore.
Their brand is taking a hit.
A little off color, the whole SNL thing.
Yeah, their brand is taking a hit.
Definitely. For the Kevin Spacey story, Eminem said, it seems like Kevin gets away with a lot, maybe just accused of a lot.
He has been accused of a lot, but he did get off, no pun intended, those charges over in England when he was like accused by several guys of being the most. But he was found. Was he found not guilty or was he just acquitted? I think he was just acquitted of those charges. There wasn't enough evidence. But there's a lot of smoke.
A lot of smoke. Couple miscellaneous comments. These are always my favorite. David said, congratulations, Johnny and Charlie. Thank you. 2 years.
2 years. Valentine's Day too. Did you get married on Valentine's Day?
Our anniversary is February 16th. So a couple days after Valentine's.
What did you get Johnny?
Nothing.
You got him nothing.
He didn't get me anything either. Actually, we were supposed to go out for a nice brunch. And we canceled our reservation just because we had like a nice 4-day weekend and we had so many plans. So we're supposed to go out next weekend. So we got I got him a card. I wrote out a bunch of nice things.
You didn't get them like, like coupons for a free hug or free chaka?
No, chaka. What is this? Like middle school?
Yeah, where you can like have the coupon every time. Like
coupon for a kiss.
Yeah.
Priscilla said, we missed you, Neff. Thank you, Priscilla. I missed you guys too. And Kim said, nice to see Charlie Neff back.
It's back. You're back. And hopefully you're here to stay now for a few days in a row.
Yes, the Charlies.
The Charlies are back in action, baby. Let's go.
Woo, woo.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow.